Hey guys, how's it going? Kripp here. So I'm back, back at home, playing some video games, streaming again, making the YouTube vids. I am a little bit sick, and overall I had a pretty good time these last few weeks. And instead of going over all the stuff, because I don't really have corresponding photos and all the goodness and all that, I'll just tell you guys about my experiences with the airlines because I've done quite a bit of traveling over the last few weeks. So let's get to it. Where have I been? I went to Hawaii. I stayed there for a week, but the flight from Athens, it's a 13-hour time difference, so it's actually more than the other side of the planet. Going there was 36 hours, coming back was 32 hours. This includes the layovers. And when I came back, the next day I went to Thessaloniki, which is the second biggest city in Greece, and I went there for some kind of conference. It didn't really have too much to do with me, but I got to see the city, I got to see my girlfriend's family and all the good stuff, and yeah, that was pretty great. But on the last of the six flights in the Hawaii bundle, I ended up getting a little bit of a flu, and I had that with me the entire time in Thessaloniki. So I was a little bit out of it, and I'm still recovering now just a bit. So, flying. You guys probably know that I'm not too big of a fan of flying around the world in the airplanes, and it's not like I'm afraid of them or anything. It's just that the companies who handle this stuff are fucking terrible, and I feel it's my duty to tell you guys about my terrible experiences, so at the very least you guys can have rock bottom expectations when you use flight services. So flying around started off pretty badly. The flight from Greece, from Athens to Honolulu, Hawaii, USA, started off with British Airlines. It was two flights with British Airlines, one from Athens to London Heathrow Airport, from London Heathrow to Los Angeles LAX, and then eventually to Hawaii. And because it was essentially an American Airlines flight, we couldn't book our tickets online because of some technical issues that they have when American Airlines partners up with British Airways. You have to check in at the airport. So we went like 3 hours before the flight to get our seats, and we couldn't get seats together because obviously I was going with my girlfriend. So that kind of sucked, and we made a big fuss about it because rightfully so, if you buy tickets to something several months in advance, you should at the very least be able to sit beside the person who you book it with. Well, maybe not. Anyway, we get on the plane, and bit of good news, it turns out that there is a fairly new code, and by code I mean like a meal code for airlines, and it's VGML. It's vegan food. When you're flying around the world, you can actually eat stuff. I didn't know this, and British Airlines has some of the good stuff apparently, and I was pretty satisfied. They had vegan meals for me, and the first I experienced on my way to London, so I was pretty happy with that. We ended up sitting together, but yeah, that took a little bit of effort. When we got to London, this was the long layover that I had in the trip. It was 11 or 12 hours, I don't know exactly. We stayed at a hotel, and it was like an airport hotel, and it was kind of a mess. I mean, the hotel was, kind of a joke. We book at the hotel, double bed, and then when we get to the hotel, like 10 minutes later, they don't have that room available, so, it was like a double bed. It basically sucked. So we stayed the night there and prepared for our flight for the next long flight from London to Los Angeles. And when you enter the US for the first time from a non-US area, you have to recheck your baggage, and you have to do this because of some regulations that they have. So when we got there, we got off the plane, we were waiting for our baggage, and we found out that a large portion of the baggage coming out of Heathrow was actually missing. and both the pieces that we checked in were not there. And we spoke to a British Airways representative, and he told us something like, yeah, they're in transit, don't worry, they might even get to the hotel when you do. And the policy in this case is that they deliver the baggage to your ultimate destination, but you have to file a claim at the end of your destination. So we couldn't apply for a claim there. We had to take the flight after a few hours to Honolulu. When we got to Honolulu, it was pretty late. We were really tired, but we talked about the baggage stuff with American Airlines there. We filed the claim. They authorized like $75 a piece or some bullshit like that. That we'd have like money that we could claim to them for immediate expenses that we have. And you have to keep in mind that we were going there for a wedding, and we arrived there Friday night, and Saturday was like the rehearsal, and Sunday was the wedding. And we had nothing. We had one change of clothes, but because we stayed the night in London, because of the 11 or 12 hour layover, we had used the extra clothes that we had. So we had nothing, and obviously $75 for wedding clothes for two people, not going to cut it, especially because Hawaii, you need bathing suits, you need suntan lotion, you need the goods, you got to feel good. And you don't want to go shopping the entire first day that you're there, which is exactly what we ended up doing. So we did some fun stuff, and I'll cover that in some other videos if you guys are interested. But eventually, the baggage appeared 4 days later and showed up in our hotel room. And this is after we bought, like $1,000 worth of clothes and all that stuff. But whatever. It was just a big mess, really, and it was a cause of Heathrow Airport, the airport in London. Apparently, all their stuff, in terms of baggaging, went down. What we were told was like about a day, but I later found out that it was several days, possibly close to a week, and there was, many tens of thousands of bags that were just, nowhere. So I didn't have many expectations to really ever see our bags again, but eventually we got them, and that was all good. So we had some fun in Hawaii after that. And coming back on the flight over, it was American Airlines to LAX and American Airlines to London Heathrow. And on these flights, we made a small mistake. We had some liquids or something like that. It was just honest mistake. We just left it in the carry-on baggage, and I don't know what the American, security, whatever it's called, but whatever they do, they didn't notice, I guess, and we didn't realize it was there, so we didn't know either. And we had some liquids on our bags, and that'll come into a story in a short while. Eventually, we get to London Heathrow, and on the airplanes that get us there, because I'm expecting my vegan meals, I was told by the pretty nice guy on the airplane that the meals that American Airlines offers don't compare to those of other airlines, notably British Airways. So my expectations should be really low, and they were, because my vegan meal consisted of things like bread that didn't look vegan, and margarine that had a milk additive, and you could see that on the ingredients. And obviously it was a mess. They didn't even clean my seat. In the seat compartment, there was like food and garbage from the previous guy there. Airline companies are a joke, basically. Anyway, so we get to Heathrow. Our layover at Heathrow was like 6 hours or something. We did some fun stuff there, which I'll tell you guys some more about in some other video. But in the end, we had to take our final flight from Heathrow to Athens, from London to Athens. And we were among the front of the plane, I believe, and they were seating back to front. So we were just about the last people called up, to fly. And, I missed a step. When we got to London Heathrow, they checked our baggage again. through the scans and whatnot, and they found those liquids that we forgot about, and we had to throw a decent amount of them out, which is, kind of hilarious. But anyway, so we get on the plane on the last flight, and because we were pretty much like the last people there, we got punished for checking in baggage that had no reason to be checked in. I had my backpack with a laptop. I had fairly small carry-on suitcase. My girlfriend had like a purse and her own carry-on suitcase, which we had originally checked in on our flight there. But because we realized that the baggage system in Heathrow is a piece of shit, we didn't really want to lose our baggage again for several days. So we wanted to carry it on. And I had like a shopping bag with two of the, fluffy neck things, the neck pillows, which allow you to, somewhat comfortably sleep on airplanes. So they decided that this bag that contained two of the neck pillows was considered a carry-on bag, and because we were the last people on the plane, without really telling us, the lady just stopped me and put a tag on my carry-on baggage and took it. I asked why, and she says because I had 3 pieces and we were the last people on the plane, and it was obvious that they were doing this because of the unfair system that we were the last people on the plane, and usually when this happens is they just run out of space. So we were in a pretty unfair situation, and it was kind of bullshit because we carried this baggage around for like 10 hours during the layovers. They already lost it once at Heathrow for like 4 days. On top of that, we lost all the fun liquids because the American Airlines, they don't notice things. So in the end, the baggage system is a joke pretty much everywhere. Airlines are a joke, flying sucks, all the rest. You guys all know that. The Thessaloniki flights are like 35 minutes, there's not much to say there. But on the last flight from Hawaii, I mentioned I did get sick. Sickness is getting pretty good, but it's in the last stages. I'm getting pretty well, but I don't really want to push it. I don't really want to, sleep too little because of, the 13-hour difference from Hawaii that I'm still adjusting to. So I'm taking it easy for a while, playing the Hearthstones, and we'll have to see if any of that changes. But yeah, flights. Flying sucks. I think this is video number 3 discussing that topic. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.